Hey, it's Michelle and Marty, and we wanted to let you guys know that um, Zelda Sally is no longer with us. Um, Trying to think here where to start. She started losing weight in November, or November's when we noticed that she had been losing weight, and then, um, oh, and then I took her to the vet. I guess it was it, right around Thanksgiving, I took her to the vet and they said that she was okay. Um, they did blood work and x rays and everything, and all they could find was that she had two kidney stones, like one in each kidney. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's all it is. So I was trying to do what I could to help that. And then um, about 6 weeks ago, I just felt so about 6 months after she had gone to the vet before, I felt like she just seemed like she was on her way out the door. So I called the vet and I brought her in, and her blood work didn't look abnormal. But when they did the x rays, they sent them to a radiologist. The radiologist said that her kidney stones were still there, but she had arthritis in her hips. She had had that before. I forgot to mention that. She's had that for years. She had degradation of the spine, which I guess is like arthritis but worse. She had an enlarged heart, and she had a inflamed spleen, but it was huge to the point where it was pushing her other organs to the side, and um, it had a tumor on it, and they didn't know if it was cancerous or not, but they said it's a 95% chance that it was cancerous, and it's like, okay. The way that they would test it to find out if it was cancerous seemed like it would be too much. I wouldn't want to go through it. I don't want her to go through it, because I can't explain anything to her. And they said even if it is cancer and we remove the spleen or whatever, um, it would prolong her life by 2 months. And they said that they didn't think that they could remove her spleen because with her enlarged heart, they couldn't put her to sleep anyway. Um, so I knew that she didn't have long. The vet explained that this was terminal and that at any time her spleen could explode. It could burst. Um, and I couldn't handle the thought of that happening to her. So I asked the vet, okay, well, what are the signs that will make it to where I'll know when she's getting close to that point? Because I don't want her to suffer. They said they could put her to sleep right away, but I wanted to, spend more time with her, and I wanted her to have more quality of life. Um, so she was okay for a couple of weeks, especially they put her on pain medication, and she would go lay on the balcony and soak up the sun, and at night she'd go out on the patio and play with crickets, and she was doing really good. And then the last couple of weeks it started going downhill pretty quickly, and then it got to the point where she just didn't seem like she was enjoying her life at all anymore. We weren't cuddling anymore. She wasn't purring when I would pet her. You know what I mean? It was just, and she was always a lap cat. She was always my shadow. She was always right with me all the time. If you ever wanted to know where Zelda was, you just had to find me. But she wasn't like that anymore. And so I called the vet. I told them I thought it might be time. They wanted me to come in. I took I took her in, and they said that it was definitely time. Um, so yeah, I have to say, um, I think that she went in the most peaceful way possible, um, and it was perfect for her, you know. Um, so yeah, that's it. She's gone, and it's devastating. Even though we knew she didn't have long, and we were spending time with her and stuff, it's still devastating. I had her for 15 years. um, she picked me as her mommy. She wanted me to adopt her, and I was looking for an older cat, and she kept meowing and sticking her paws out of the little, what do you call them, grates or whatever, the bars of the crate that she was in at the pound, and she was at the SPCA. And I told her, well, you're really cute, but I'm looking for an older cat. I really want to feel like I'm rescuing someone. And I turned to walk away, and she started meowing and like hitting the bars um, of the crate. So when that happened, I told the woman working there, um, can I just take her into an interview room? She seems like she needs a little attention. But we went into this interview room, and the lady set her down, and she went running across the room, and she went um, across my tennis shoes and up my jeans, all the way up my shirt. And she came right here, and she was nuzzling on my chin and purring. And I said, okay, I'll bring you home with me. She just brought so much joy into my life at one of the worst times in my life. It was 2008. I was going through a divorce. Um, you know how the economy was back then. I was in college, and I was having a hard time finding a good job and getting, my life settled. And I had just lost my cat that I had had before her, and she just brought so much happiness and joy into my life right away. And she was my best friend. And um, I named her Zelda because she reminded me of Zelda in the game, the Nintendo game that I used to play as a kid, how Zelda would be wanting so bad to be rescued. She reminded me of the character in the game, so that's why I named her Zelda. And um, we went through so much together. We went through the divorce, we went through single life and college finals. And um, when I met Brad, I thought, if her and my dog don't like him, I'm not going to give him a chance. He seems like a great guy, but only if my pets like him, and they loved him. So we went through that. We went through all kinds of different health problems over the years, and hurricanes, and moving across the country, and COVID, and I mean, just went through so much together. We adopted Marty, I think it was 2 months after we got married. So he has always known Zelda in his life. He's never known a life without Zelda, and he's having a bit of a hard time with it. He seems like he's going to be okay, though. I think the hard part for him was, I think it was harder for him when she was still here. Just seeing her disintegrate like that, I think, was becoming too much for him. And um, he seems okay with her gone, but there's times where I feel like he really misses her. So we're trying to be very cognizant of that and spend a lot of time with him. And we're just trying to really make this summer a really good summer for him, because he's been through so much. So we've got new toys that we got for him, and different activities that we want to do to just kind of, make him happy and bring some joy back into his life. And he's been through a lot. So you might be wondering if we're getting another cat. We are not getting another cat. We decided we would only get another cat if Marty seemed super depressed, but I think if I'm reading his actions correctly, I think he would like to be an only cat after going through what he went through with losing her and everything. I will post some pictures and videos of her, and thank you so much for all of your support. Little girl. What's wrong? Zelda, what's wrong?
Separate posts.
Good girl. She's so mad on this road trip. Her brother came out of his carrier, and she's so mad. And I don't know why.
He's just walking around checking things out.
Yeah.
And use the potty. He's a good boy.
Little girl. Hey, come on. Little girl. Look at the crossed paws.
So this team, they won. They got that resume, that pedigree, and they do have the ability maybe to throw Colorado up through the neutral zone. The way this style is played, and this is where I'll give John credit. You go back right to that Leafs series when Braden Point went down, and they go back and he sits on the bench. That second and third period, it was all about blocking shots